Thoughts and Teens in Focus. I'm your host, Patricia Shrimp. And guess what? I'm at the Barclays Center, meeting and greeting with people out here. You know, we have a children program within the community and a television program that you could enjoy. We deal with community information. We deal with elected officials. We deal with every person that deals with youths in the community and how can the community help our youths. We are here and we are inviting you to stay tuned, have fun with Tots and Teens program, know what is going on in the community, listen to your elected officials, and we also have our cultural presentation by youths of the community. We have fashion shows, we have dancing, we have creative arts and craft. So if you want, you can bring your children to Tots and Teens, and we are located for our practice session at Get Set Nursery School. Get Set Nursery School is located at 2031 Snyder Avenue. There we meet every Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. Bring your children, we have lots of fun. And just remember, next year we'll be having our Prince and Princess TV series. So if you want your child to be a prince or a princess on our TV show, just come and join us on Saturdays at Bedford Snyder at our practice session. We love to have you there. We love to be with children. We love to share our views and our news and our interviews with you, our community. Have fun, community.
Our Remigrant campaign in terms of persons coming back to own homes, we have seen a lot of Guyanese living in the States and Toronto returning home and returning back to Guyana and establishing homes, building homes, which we call CPL, like how we had a Pepsi IPL. This has tremendous potential for us, because you have players from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Australia, all of whom have large diaspora out here that we can attract and bring into the market. What about our festivities and how we market our festivities? For example, when EasyJet was in operation, GTA partnered with EasyJet for a holy package, and we filled the place up. We even had a Ramadan package, and we filled the place up. Because people are yearning for these type of packages that address specific festivity. Each festivity has its own attraction, and we have to work towards developing a product that makes use of our rich cultural diversity, the potential of our rich cultural diversity. And if culture has a great role to play in tourism. Culture is a main driving force in the tourism business. And we also have to look at how we want to expand that cultural diversity. Where we have come from in the sector is also admirable. In 2001, we had approximately 700 hotel rooms in the country. Today, we have more than 3,100 hotel rooms. The private resorts and hotels are investing more than $32 billion right now in expansion of their facilities. And this is outside of the Marriott that is under construction and hopefully will come into operation by August. In addition to this, at Whitewater, we have a large investment going on there that would see one of the most beautiful eco river resort not only in the Caribbean, but in all of South America, being established right now. And these facilities are built because of the seriousness both the private sector and the public sector is putting towards tourism and tourism business. We just had a major investment by the Princess Group in a 7D, am I right? 7D cinema with a modern gaming arcade. If you go there on weekends, it's packed. Adding infrastructure that can bring benefit, that gives the tourists options. So a lot of this is going on at home. We also have the expansion of the Shadijagan International Airport. And we are hoping that this airport is going to become a major regional hub. For a matter of fact, we are hoping to meet a very senior team from COPA later this month. And that team is looking at establishing a link with COPA. That opens up an excitingly new horizon for us in the industry, with all of South America and Latin America being linked through our destination. So the product is emerging as one that the government and the private sector is committed to develop in a serious manner. That is why we are here to coordinate with you, Mr. Clive Lloyd. And I want to introduce, I've just seen him walking in, Mr. Clive Lloyd to you. And Mr. Clive Lloyd is one of our tourism brand faces that we're using for Guyana now. And I ask you to put your hands together for Mr. Clive Lloyd. This is one of the internationally recognized faces that we are using to promote and share our product, not to sell our product, but to share our product with the rest of the world. I do not want to be premature, but I want to say to you too that there is serious commitment by another airline to start up operation by October. Am I right? October? By October this year. Now, we are hoping that we can have some bilaterals during this visit, and very shortly some announcements in that regard can be made. So you will have, by the end of this year, I'm confident, at least 2 additional alternatives coming into the market. But we believe the market has grown to such an extent that even with these additions, we will be flying at great capacity. And there will still be a need for additional capacity. I want to assure investors in the tourism sector, I want to assure travel agents that we are now on an aggressive push in advertising and promoting Guyana. For a matter of fact, many of you may not know that there is a program called Gold Rush that has been done by Discovery Channel. And Gold Rush is the #1 Friday night program on American TV by Discovery Channel. And it's all about Guyana. And you know what is the #2 program? The Making of Gold Rush. It was so successful that the people from Discovery Channel pulled all their equipment out of Chile. And instead of filming one part of the episode in Guyana, they are currently filming the entire episode in Guyana. They're investing more than $2.5 billion in filming the entire episode in Guyana. We have the History Channel, BBC, naming Guyana as one of 50 destinations you must visit in a lifetime. We have Miss Universe visiting, Akon, Rick Ross, R. Kelly is coming in August. These are some of the international figures and branding that we have attached to the product. All coming indeed at very great cost, both to the public and the private sector. but very, very important. We also have Fortune magazine. Fortune magazine, Fortune 500, has given Guyana a 6-page feature, 75% of which is based on our tourism and tourism potential. So we are investing in the marketing aspect, in the promotional aspect. But what you will see over the next few years is a direct, targeted, structured campaign among our diaspora for second, third generation. Because in that target group lies tremendous potential in growing the market and expanding the market. As I said, we wanted this to be a very interactive session. So before I close and open the door for discussion, I want to make one more point. And that is, in our Remigrant campaign, in terms of persons coming back to own homes, we have seen a lot of Guyanese living in the States and Toronto returning home and returning back to Guyana and establishing homes, building homes, which means that a ready traffic, a constant traffic is being developed between the two localities. That traffic would require reliable air service and inexpensive air service. I'm not saying air service that makes a loss. I'm saying inexpensive air service. One that does not exploit the market, but balances profit with the service they have to provide. We want to say to the operators here that there are many difficulties, there are many hurdles. We know the challenges, we know the mistakes, but I ask you, like our president has asked, let us not look back. Let us not complain. Let us take this opportunity that we've sat on for too long and develop this opportunity into good prospects for Guyana and for the people of Guyana, both over here and back home. With these few words, I thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Minister. And Minister took the time to update you on the developments both on the aviation front and on developments, positive developments that are occurring in Guyana, including the marketing campaign and the promotional campaigns for Destination Guyana, of which this expo here and this travel agents meeting is a critical part. And I know many of you have complained that you do not have a lot of materials, and the operators are here also, and so for the agents, you'll be getting a copy of the RAC travel guide. I do not know many of you have been seeing it for the first time, but it's sold in major bookstores across the world and at the airports. And this would be an invaluable tool and guide for you in knowing and understanding more about the travel opportunities in Ghana, how to get there, where to stay, what to do, and things like that. And in addition to that, the operators are here for you to network and to link with them. So now we will take your questions. I know you have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns from not having tourism literature, from persons not responding to your emails, especially as you're eager to sell and promote them, and many of our businesses are not responding to emails. They're not taking phone calls. They're not doing so many things. And I know you have a lot of difficulties with that. And so we'd love to hear from you. Your feedback is very, very important. So if you can open the floor for your questions and concerns, and how we can work together, how we can collaborate to make Destination Guyana a choice for the visitors. Identify yourself, which agency, and the question. Thanks.
My name is Bola Ramsundar from Bola Travel Service. I'm the president of Bola Travel Service and Bola Group of Companies. My question is, the airlines, like you say, Fly Jamaica and the other airline that's going to be coming into operation pretty soon, are they going to be a scheduled airline? Are they going to be a charter airline which is going to be gone within a couple of months also?
Thank you very much, Mr. Bowler, for your question. We have Ms. Reese here, and I asked her to speak to your question directly. And Ms. Reese is from Fly Jamaica. Her husband, I think, is the CEO of the company and one of the pilots. Ms. Reese, there is a question as to whether Fly Jamaica would be a scheduled carrier and whether it's owned or chartered. And you can speak about Air Jamaica.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My apologies. We got caught in traffic. Fly Jamaica is a scheduled airline. It's owned by Jamaican and Guyanese. And we hope to be going to Guyana sometime in July. I think it all depends on ministers giving us some documents at the moment. As soon as we get those, we'll declare a date. But we can't do it unless we have everything in hand. And basically that's it. We are ready to go. Our trainers are trying to get down to Guyana. And the irony of it is that we can't get flights to go down on Monday or Tuesday. We're trying to see how we can get our trainers in, because there is some amount of training we have to do with our contractors. And we can't get any flights down. So as soon as we get in, we're going to be ready in July.
How many flights?
We're doing 2 flights a week on Wednesdays and Saturday. In Jamaica, we're doing 6 to Kingston. We have 6 flights out of New York to Kingston, and we're planning to do several out of Toronto. But we're putting Guyana on the first leg. We're hoping to do them before we do the Torontos. And we'll be doing 2 out of Toronto as well. So as soon as we get the New York, Toronto, Georgia going, then we'll look at Toronto. I beg your pardon? I can't hear. Straight, direct flights. That's why we're waiting to get a document. It's called a Foreign Operator Certificate. Once we get that, we'll be able to do direct flights. Direct New York, Georgetown. So, yeah.
Is there any other question? As we have Fly Jamaica here, is there any other question from Fly Jamaica?
Are you going to be paying the agents a commission, or
Yes, we are. And we have spoken
what,
with
are
some
you going to be
agents.
2% like Caribbean Airline?
No, it isn't. I hope if there are agents here, I'm hoping to meet them tonight to save me having to go to every single one.
Good evening, everyone. I just have, my question is kind of simple. I believe I'm sure on the company, no specific agency, just interested in the environment. I work in the environment. I don't disagree with anything that is discussed in terms of tourism and Guyana having a very good product in terms of attracting people. But my major concern, I left Guyana 12 years ago, is the deterioration of the environment. And I'm wondering what is being done as part of tourism to make sure that we resuscitate the environment in Guyana and bring it back to that beautiful green country.
Well, I think you're speaking particularly about the city. If you go through Guyana, you will see that it's still one of the most beautiful and green countries in the world. But we have a serious problem with the city, and if you're speaking particularly about the city, I can say indeed there's a severe environmental issues we have in the city. You know, we have a lot of problems with the city council, and what we're doing now is that the government has taken over a lot of the responsibility, and there's an effort between the international community, the government, and the private sector now to clean up the city and to restore the city. In addition to this, we have had a public advertisement for private companies, and a lot of companies in the recycle business and in the solid waste business have all submitted proposals to come and invest in Guyana, especially in recycling, renewable energy, and a big aspect is cleaning the environment. Mr. Nascimento would like to add a few things.
Yeah, it's a very good question. The minister has addressed the problem of waste disposal. It's what comes down to in our capital city, and indeed in a number of the major population centers of the country. Waste disposal is a huge challenge. What is happening is Guyana is growing actually very rapidly indeed. Rapid growth brings with it rapid demand for social services, and waste disposal is one of those social services. The fact is that for a number of reasons, one of them being mismanagement of the local government and city councils, it's fallen behind. The government and the private sector have joined hands where this is concerned. I, for instance, representing the private sector, sit on a committee which has recently been established for the restoration of Georgetown and its environs. The government, with the International Development Bank, is now developing a major waste disposal facility, which is a good deal of money is being invested in that. The minister has already spoken about recycling, but you know, where it comes to the environment, Guyana really is to be admired, because it is a stated policy of the country for a low-carbon development strategy. And what that, in fact, means is that in spite of the fact that we have a major forest industry, and in spite of the fact we have a growing and very profitable gold industry, we have very strict regulations with regard to the protection of our forests. And indeed, the tourism resorts that we are attracting you to come and visit are all nature resorts. They're using the sun as power. They are nearly all powered by solar energy. They're using fresh water from rain to provide water. And I speak of my own resort and many other resorts like it. So we are very conscious of the environment. We have fallen behind, we've said so, in terms of our city population centers. We're grappling with that now and we're challenging it. But where the tourism industry itself is concerned, we are very actively protecting our environment, very actively and very dedicated to it.
You want to ask a question?
Your name, say your name.
Patricia Trim, BCAT, Brooklyn Community Access Television. What I want to ask of you, because we see it every time on the internet, everything comes out on the internet, and you say the environment. What about I got charged already in St. Lucia for just dropping an icicle bag, and I keep my garbage in my bag. If you go in my bag, it always have garbage. What is the problem that people just throw their garbage as soon as they use it, and it looks so dirty and so stinky? What can the government do when these garbage are piled up? The government is not working, or there is some type of corruption that people could get away with this type of environment disposal and nobody says anything.
Let me be very clear. There's three arms of government. There's the executive, there's the legislative, and there's the judiciary. The arm of the government that is responsible for prosecution is that of the judiciary. There's three distinct arms of government. Each arm has its own constitutional protection. So I just want to be clear on that. So when you talk about the government, sometimes people look at the executive. But in terms of the interpretation of law and dealing with the law itself is a function of the judiciary. And we have recognized this as a problem where you need strict enforcement, where you, let me give you a simple example. Many persons leave the society at 6 in the morning, and they get to Guyana on the flight at 12, and they get in their vehicle going to Georgetown. And the very person who leaves this very disciplined environment, you will see throwing garbage outside the window. So it comes down to a problem, to a situation where people think they have the God-given right to just do what they want to do in a society because of a culture that is being created. And we have to break that culture. We have to get rid of that culture. And that culture, you can use a Singapore model and say ban everything that is plastic if you want to go draconian. But we are going to work, we're definitely going to work on enforcement. Enforcement is going to become a major component of the strategy. For a matter of fact, the Minister of Natural Resources has already signaled his intention of moving to a policy position of having an environment